Gypsy Rose Blanchard was incarcerated for 8 years due to her involvement in her mother, Dee Blanchard's murder. I believed that was the only way out of my circumstances, not wanting her dead, Gypsy stated in an interview that aired on Good Morning America on Friday. Gypsy Rose Blanchard is speaking up about her painkiller addiction and how it influenced her choice to take her own mother's life, Dee Blanchard. In a Good Morning America Friday interview with Deborah Roberts of ABC News, Gypsy disclosed that while she wasn't sober at the time she and her ex-boyfriend Nicholas Nick Gaudijon planned Dee's murder, she is now. The 32-year-old parolee responded to the 2020's anchor. "This is really hard to talk about because it took me down a really dark path," when she was questioned about her addiction to prescription drugs. "But I felt like it was my only way to cope for a time." Gypsy Rose Blanchard regrets killing her mother and is about to be released from prison. "She was not deserving of that." Private. Gypsy continued, saying that although she was under the influence when she made the decision to kill her mother, who had persuaded many in her life that her daughter was terminally sick, and is thought to have forced Gypsy to endure agonizing, needless medical procedures, she still accepts responsibility for her actions. "I take no responsibility for drugs or anything else. I don't give reasons why," Gypsy declared. She also said on GMA, "My mother isn't a monster in my opinion. She battled numerous monsters. I only wanted to get out of my circumstance, not kill her, and I believed that was the only way to do so." Gypsy was given parole 8 years after admitting to the murder of her mother, and she was freed from prison on December 28. She was able to overcome her addiction throughout her incarceration. Gypsy told Roberts, "Now, I'm sober. I haven't used in 4 years, and I don't feel the need to." Gypsy met and married Louisiana-born special education teacher Ryan Scott Anderson in 2022 while serving her sentence. Since her release from prison, Gypsy has been providing fans with glimpses into her life outside of bars on social media. She remarked, I had to kiss a couple of frogs to get to this one," while seated next to Anderson in her GMA interview. "We've discussed planning a family, but we're not sure when yet. Right now, our lives are quite chaotic." Would you want to read the most recent coverage of crimes? For updates on current trials, details on interesting unsolved cases, and breaking crime news, subscribe to People's free true crime newsletter. Because of the public's fascination with her narrative, 2 award-winning written miniseries, The Act, which debuted in 2019, and Mommy Dead and Dearest, a 2017 documentary, were inspired by it. Tonight is the premiere of a new documentary series called The Prison Confessions of Gypsy on Lifetime. Gypsy is portrayed in Rose Blanchard as narrating her life's events, including the abuse she endured before killing her mother and getting sentenced to prison. When Roberts asked her how she felt about the attention her story had received, she told him she wasn't sure. "I feel conflicted, of course. I'm not looking for fame," she declared. "I always said, I think I'm infamous, and then I came out famous." To learn more about Gypsy Rose Blanchard's case, pick up this week's issue of Pimple on newsstands or subscribe to the magazine right now. She said, "To be honest, I'm a really shy person. But I don't believe that there is anything I am doing that I am not doing. I'm being authentic. To be a cautionary tale so that the next person who might be in a situation like mine, they don't take the route that I did," she wrote in her note about sharing her story. Gypsy Rose Blanchard discusses her battle to comprehend her mother's Munchausen by proxy. Not intentionally malevolent. Private. In 2015, Dee Blanchard was murdered in her Springfield, Missouri, home by Gypsy and Gaudijon. Gypsy entered a guilty plea to murder, received a 10-year prison sentence, and was released from prison this year. According to court documents, Gaudijon was found guilty of first-degree murder in 2019 and given a life sentence without the possibility of release. Gypsy talked about her thoughts about her liberation and Gaudijon's life sentence in her GMA interview. "I'm sure that we both have a lot of regrets," she added. "All I can really say is I did my time. He's doing his time for his part. and I wish him well on his journey." Gypsy glanced at an old photo of herself and realized how much she had changed. "I don't even associate with that little girl anymore," she replied. "I don't think I know her. I understand that it's me, but it's also not me at all." Gypsy remarked, "You don't realize how much you're restricted in prison," in reference to her release and current existence. "It seems as though I was in a world of black, and